The girl wanted to test her boyfriend. She deliberately kissed the school bully on the lips. Her boyfriend nearby indeed went mad with anger. But the girl didn't care at all. She kept sucking the strawberry flavor from the school bully's mouth. Because she, who had been reborn, had long seen through her boyfriend's hypocritical face. In her previous life, after marrying Soo Jinkin, she discovered that Soo Jinkin's love for her had an ulterior motive. He only coveted the wealth of her Fu family. He didn't truly love her. She was merely a tool to be used. In the end, not only was her family ruined and members lost because of Soo Jinkin, she was even jointly killed by him and his white moonlight idealized lover. Having been reborn this time, she swore she would never fall into the scumbag's trap again. The place where she was reborn happened to be on the day of the school concert. In her previous life, it was because at this concert, she kissed Soo Jinkin that led to the subsequent tragedy. But this time, she wouldn't be fooled again. Just at that moment, the originally dim concert venue suddenly had a circular beam of light shine brightly. It spun rapidly across the entire audience, just like in her previous life. The light ultimately stopped steadily on Fujiu. The crowd saw the school bell and the male god appear on the big screen, and instantly became frenzied. Soo Jinkin turned to look at her, the corners of his lips curling into a smug arc. Fujiu paid him no mind, but turned to look at the school bully Pei Xinglan sitting beside him. Although Fujiu hadn't interacted with him much, Pei Xinglan's figure could be seen everywhere on campus. He was always surrounded by a group of rich kids, and there were always pretty girls chasing after him. Forget it, let it be him. Fujiu hardened her heart, turned her head and kissed the Pei Xinglan beside her. Pei Xinglan, who had originally been watching the excitement, immediately felt his mind go blank, his heart uncontrollably racing wildly. Soo Jinkin beside them was first shocked, then roared furiously, "Fujiu, do you have any idea what you're doing?" Fujiu turned to look at him indifferently. "Soo Jinkin, you wouldn't let me kiss you. I could only find him instead." He was so angry his face turned pale. "You're truly shameless." "When did I ever say that?" But Fujiu just smiled slightly. "Your expression already told me." His face turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. "Fujiu, if you're going to be like this, then let's not contact each other anymore from now on." Fujiu's face was full of satisfaction. "That's fine, it's exactly what I wished for." But before she could finish speaking, she was suddenly pulled by the Pei Xinglan beside her, pulling her away from the venue. Till they had walked out of the concert hall, Pei Xinglan suddenly pinned her against the wall. Then his eyes held a playful expression. "Speak, why did you kiss me?" Being stared at by him from such a close distance, Fujiu was actually stunned for a moment. What a handsome face. Why hadn't I noticed it before? Pei Xinglan saw that she hadn't spoken for a while, suddenly lowered his head, moved even closer. "I'm asking you a question." Had enough of looking. Fujiu, having reacted, was full of embarrassment. "Had enough looking? Is it good looking?" Pei Xinglan tilted his head, looking at her with a faint, teasing smile. Fujiu's face instantly turned red. "So good looking." Pei Xinglan gave two cold laughs. "Why does your voice lack confidence now? Where's the courage you had when you forced a kiss on me earlier? Weren't you quite something?" Fujiu momentarily didn't know how to respond, so it just blurted out, "Because you're good looking." After saying it, she didn't even dare to look directly into Pei Xinglan's eyes. "Did you guys hear that? She said she forced a kiss on the boss because the boss is good looking." The rich kid Lin Jiaoyu behind Pei Xinglan couldn't help but laugh. The others also started laughing uproariously. "Fujiu, do you even believe what you're saying? Isn't Soo Jinkin, who's with you, even better looking? Why didn't you kiss him?" Pei Xinglan suddenly sneered coldly. Fujiu, hearing Soo Jinkin's name, instantly turned deathly pale. "I don't like him." Pei Xinglan seemed to have heard the biggest joke in the world. "You've been following behind her for 2 years. Who in the entire school doesn't know you like Soo Jinkin?" Fujiu grew a bit frantic. I did like him before. But he was too timing, and now suddenly don't like him anymore. Hearing this, Pei Xinglan was somewhat surprised. So it seems the rumors were wrong after all. Just then, a girl suddenly ran over. She shouted sharply, "Pei Xinglan, what are you doing?" Pei Xinglan's gaze was lazy. He turned his head. "Can't you see what we're doing? If your eyesight is that bad, why bother being in a relationship? Let's break up." Fujiu was almost shocked out of her wits. What kind of ridiculous reason was that? It was the first time she'd seen such a careless reason for a breakup. The girl burst into tears with a wail. "Pei Xinglan, you said you'd be with me for a month. It's only been 3 days. Pei Xinglan remained unmoved. With a wave of his hand, several lackeys behind him grabbed the girl's arms and forcibly dragged her away. "See, because of you, I've lost my girlfriend. How are you going to make it up to me?" Pei Xinglan looked down at Fujiu. "I didn't do it on purpose." Fujiu's voice was very soft. Although she knew the breakup was intentional on Pei Xinglan's part, she didn't dare say it outright. "Fujiu, in all my life, this is the first time I've been forcibly kissed. Tell me, what should be done about it?" Fujiu's heart filled with panic. To get into such huge trouble right after rebirth. This is really worrying me. "Pei Xinglan, what do you want to do?" The corner of Pei Xinglan's lips lifted slightly. "My name is Pei Xinglan, huh? Seems like you pay quite a bit of attention to me." "Usually, I do not. You're a celebrity at school. Who doesn't know your name?" Fujiu muttered under her breath. Pei Xinglan wore a mischievous smile, deliberately teasing Fujiu. "Tell me, shouldn't I kiss you back? Otherwise, for a guy like me to get forcefully kissed, it's kind of a disgrace, after all." "No way." Fujiu refused instinctively, a trace of panic showing in her eyes. "Then this matter won't be easily settled. You made me lose my girlfriend. You have to compensate me." A sly smile played on the corner of Pei Xinglan's lips. His gaze locked tightly on Fujiu. Fujiu only felt her mind was a complete mess. "What exactly do you want? How about I compensate you for emotional damages?" Pei Xinglan burst out laughing. He turned and asked the guys behind him, "Brothers, am I short on money?" "No," the underlings answered in unison. "What am I short of?" Pei Xinglan asked again. "A girlfriend." The few guys behind him shouted loudly, their tones carrying a hint of egging him on. She was momentarily speechless, not knowing how to respond. "Fujiu, you have to compensate me with a girlfriend. Use yourself as the compensation. The day after tomorrow is the weekend. I'll pick you up at your dormitory in the morning." After saying that, he didn't give Fujiu any chance to refute. He turned around and left with his lackeys, leaving Fujiu alone, standing there in a daze. This plot is a bit off. Su Jinkin isn't completely out of the picture yet. And now here comes the school bully. Fujiu shook her head, deciding not to think about these things for now. Then she walked towards the dormitory with light steps. After walking for about 15 minutes, Fujiu finally reached the dormitory building. The other roommates weren't in. Fujiu quietly sat on her own bed. After quite a while, several roommates gradually returned. The 3 of them saw Fujiu sitting quietly by the bed. Their faces all showed surprise. "Jiu, why are you back so early?" Lin Wanyu asked, with a smile on her face, taking the lead to speak. "I didn't find it interesting, so I came back." Fujiu replied flatly. "Jiu, you kissed the school bully today. Did he give you a hard time?" Dan Dandan looked worried. "Jiu, don't you like Su Jinkin? Why did you kiss the school bully? Are you crazy?" Li Tianxian seemed agitated. Her voice unconsciously raised a few notches. Fujiu was momentarily speechless, not knowing how to answer. After all, she couldn't just reveal the fact that she was reborn. Who would believe it? A bitter smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. "Su Jinkin doesn't like me. Why should I make myself unwelcome? Jiu Su Jinkin actually has some feelings for you too. But this time I'm afraid he won't easily forgive you. You'd better think of a solution quickly." Li Tianxian appeared very anxious. Her eyebrows were tightly knit together. In my opinion, the school bully is actually quite good too. He's handsome. And his family is wealthy. Lin Wanyu clearly didn't agree with Li Tianxian's statement. Tianxian, I don't like Sujinkan anymore. And it's even more impossible for me to keep pursuing him. He has someone he likes. From now on, don't mention him in front of me. Fu Jiu slightly frowned. Her attitude was firm. Why? Didn't you know before that Sujinkan has someone he likes? Why is it that when success seemed just within reach, it was suddenly abandoned? Li Tianxian was full of confusion, clearly unable to understand Fujiu's actions. Tianxian, don't mention him again in the future. I don't want to hear his name anymore. Fujiu slightly furrowed her brows, a trace of annoyance in her tone. She really couldn't figure it out. Why Li Tianxian was so anxious. Now that she was no longer pursuing Sujinkan, something just didn't feel right. At that moment, Li Wanyu suddenly suggested, let's go to the Dark Night bar later. We don't have any classes tomorrow morning anyway. The others quickly agreed. After they had carefully dressed up, the four of them arrived punctually at the bar's entrance. Girls, drink freely today. It's on me. Lin Wanyu picked up the red wine bottle, skillfully poured a glass of red wine, and then raised her glass. Suddenly, the bar door was pushed open again, and a large group of students poured in from outside. Several boys were seen crowding around Sujinkan as they entered, followed by a few girls. After they came in, they happened to sit in a booth not far from Fujiu and the others. Fujiu instinctively looked up, her gaze inadvertently falling into Sujinkan's eyes. She quickly averted her eyes, her heartbeat involuntarily speeding up. An Yanhan, sitting next to Sujinkan, smiled and spoke up. Brother Chen, isn't that Fujiu who's always chasing you? Should we say hello? Or call her over to join us? Ignore her. Sujinkan's tone was cold, but his eyes never left Fujiu for a moment. Brother Chen, Fujiu likes you so much. Why didn't she kiss you at the campus concert today? Instead, she went and kissed the school bully? Sujinkan's good buddy, Surue, holding a glass, asked with keen interest. Don't mention her. Sujinkan's face instantly darkened. His tone carried obvious displeasure. Jiu, look quickly. Isn't that Sujinkan and the others? Shen Dandan's eyes held a trace of surprise. Fujiu didn't speak. She just silently poured herself another glass of wine. Suddenly, few thugs walked over. The leader was wearing a flashy Hua Chenshin shirt. A thick gold chain hung around his neck. Little sister, come have some fun with us. He smirked, his eyes revealing ill intentions. I advise you to leave immediately. Otherwise, we'll call the police. Fujiu's expression was icy. She showed no fear. But the thugs persisted, continuing to tease the group with their words. Without another word, Fujiu immediately took out her phone and started dialing the police. But before she could finish dialing, Hua Chenshin slapped the phone out of her hand, sending it crashing to the ground. Then he reached out to hug Fujiu's shoulder. At this moment, Sujinkan, who was nearby, walked over. You guys dare to harass a girl in public. If you know what's good for you, get lost now. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Hua Chenshin was instantly provoked. What the hell do you think you are? Trying to play the hero and save the beauty. Let's teach this guy a lesson, brothers. As soon as the words fell, Sujinkan started brawling with the several thugs. Unfortunately, they were too many and too strong. Sujinkan was quickly overpowered. He was knocked to the ground by several heavy punches. Serves you right for meddling. Hua Chenshin laughed even more triumphantly. His laughter was full of arrogance and disdain. Jiu, hurry up and save him. He only got beaten because he was trying to save you. Li Tianxian's voice was frantic with urgency. But at this moment, Fujiu felt a surge of vindictive satisfaction inside. Seeing her complete lack of reaction, Li Tianxian grabbed a wine bottle in desperation, and charged forward. She smashed the bottle hard onto Hua Chenshin's head. "Brothers, grab her. This bitch dared to hit me." Hua Chenshin clutched his head and roared in humiliated fury. Immediately, two men rushed over and seized Li Tianxian. Seeing this, Fu Jiu raised her hand to pull Li Tianxian away, but one of the thugs tightly grabbed her wrist. Suddenly, a voice rang out, "Hurry up and let her go." The few thugs immediately looked up. They saw the school bully walking over with a group of his lackeys. He stepped forward and shielded Fujiu behind him. "Drag these guys out and beat them up. Beat them until they submit. Then call the police and have them taken away." The few lackeys behind him instantly swarmed forward, dragged Hua Chenshin and those few thugs outside, followed by a violent beating. At this moment, Su Jinkin on the ground, supported by Li Tianxian, slowly stood up. Fu Jiu looked over. Almost couldn't hold back a laugh. Originally, Su Jinkin's handsome and good-looking face was now covered in bruises. Utterly disheveled, he stared at Fu Jiu, who was shielded behind Pei Xinglan, his eyes full of anger. Pei Xinglan tightly held Fu Jiu's hand. "Are you okay?" Fu Jiu gently shook her head. "I'm fine," she thought to herself. "It seems choosing Su Jinkin in my past life was truly a huge mistake. He can't even protect a woman, only knows how to play dirty tricks behind the scenes." As for the school bully, although she didn't know him well yet, at least at critical moments, he is a man capable of protecting a woman. Just this point alone is countless times better than Su Jinkin. "Fu Jiu got beaten up like this for you, and you won't even ask? Not a single question?" Su Jinkin looked at Fu Jiu with a face full of resentment, but a playful smile floated onto Fu Jiu's face. "Then thank you, classmate Su Jinkin. Thank you for acting bravely for justice." Su Jinkin's face instantly became even more unpleasant. The other party's words were clearly drawing a line between them. In the past, if he accidentally scraped his knee while playing basketball, Fu Jiu would immediately become extremely worried and run to the pharmacy to buy medicine. But now, the other party had become so indifferent, making him feel a strong sense of frustration. Su Jinkin forcibly suppressed the anger in his heart and questioned Fu Jiu. "I got injured for you. Shouldn't you take responsibility?" "Yes, Jiu. You should go buy some medicine for Su Jinkin first. The wound needs to be disinfected." Li Tianxian tried to persuade. "What? I still have to take responsibility?" Fu Jiu playfully winked at Pei Xinglan. Pei Xinglan immediately understood. "Su Jinkin, how do you want Jiu to take responsibility? I am her boyfriend. I'll take responsibility for your medical expenses." "Since when did he become your boyfriend?" "Fu Jiu, how come I didn't know?" "It was yesterday. You saw it too. I kissed him. Then his girlfriend got angry and ran off because of me. So I had no choice but to compensate him with a girlfriend." Fu Jiu winked at Pei Xinglan beside her, a trace of cunning still on her face. Pei Xinglan bit her lip, suppressing a smile. "That's right, she kissed me. So she has to take responsibility for me. That was my first kiss, you know." Su Jinkin was almost amused with anger. "Pei Xinglan, you change girlfriends several times a month. Your ex-girlfriends could form a volleyball team. And you still have a first kiss? Who are you trying to fool?" Pei Xinglan shrugged indifferently. "What's wrong with having many girlfriends? I never kissed any of them. It was those girls begging me to date them, okay? Don't you frame me." Su Jinkin's face turned red with anger. "Pei Xinglan, you're so promiscuous. How can you be worthy of Jiu? Why don't you take a look at yourself in the mirror?" Pei Xinglan reached out and pulled Fu Jiu into an embrace. Looking provocatively at Su Jinkin, said, "Su Jinkin, you've been acting all noble for 2 years. You've been stringing her along while chasing after Song Yufei. Tell me, which one of us is more shameless?" The jealousy in Su Jinkin's heart surged like a tide. "I'm not pursuing anyone. I just think academics should be the priority right now." I want to wait before getting into a relationship. I never said I was rejecting Fujiu. Jiu, you break up with him right now. Otherwise, it's really over between us. Su Jinkin suppressed his anger. If Fujiu didn't still have some use, why would he endure the school bully's temper here, while still being so humble? At this moment, a gentle and sweet female voice suddenly came from behind him. Su Jinkin, what are you doing here? Su Jinkin turned around to look. It was actually Song Yufei. His face instantly flashed with a hint of unease. Then he quickly replaced it with a gentle smile. Classmate Yufei ran into some trouble. I'm just helping out. Song Yufei's expression was as unpleasant as if she had eaten a fly. She had heard Su Jinkin's earlier words, not pursuing anyone, loud and clear. For Fu Jiu's sake, he actually didn't dare to admit he was pursuing her. Meanwhile, Fu Jiu looked at Song Yufei, and a surge of intense hatred welled up inside. It felt like enemies meeting, eyes blazing with rage. In her previous life, it was her and Su Jinkin who joined forces to kill her. Scumbags and green tea, bitches must be locked together forever. Then, she said disdainfully, Su Jinkin, I call my boyfriend. You don't seem to have the right to ask, do you? Fu Jiu, remember what you said today. I won't forgive you. After saying that, he took Song Yufei's hand and strode away. And on the field, Fu Jiu and the others were also invited into the private room by Pei Xinglan. After that, Pei Xinglan walked out. Everyone sat down again. The waiter came in with drinks and dishes. Lin Wanyu poured a glass of red wine. Sis, let's have a toast together. The other three were chatting and laughing. Only Li Tianxian hadn't said much, looking like she was in a bad mood. Fu Jiu turned to look at Li Tianxian beside her. With a smile on her face, Tianxian, what's wrong with you? You don't seem too happy. Li Tianxian forced a faint smile at the corner of her mouth. I'm fine. Fu Jiu didn't think too much about it. She just thought, Li Tianxian must be a fan of her and Su Jinkin's CP. Otherwise, why would Li Tianxian be unhappy? As soon as she didn't like Su Jinkin, Shen Dandan beside her couldn't wait to speak. Jiu, what exactly is going on between you and Pei Xinglan? Did you really agree to be his girlfriend? Mentioning Pei Xinglan, Fu Jiu couldn't help but blush slightly. I'm not sure if it counts. We're still not very familiar with each other. He just asked me to compensate him with a girlfriend. Shen Dandan looked envious and exclaimed, wow, compensating yourself to be his girlfriend. You're really the first one. How romantic. Just at that moment, the private room door was pushed open. Pei Xinglan walked in, followed by two other boys. One of them, named Gu Zhaoran, Fu Jiu had seen before. She remembered in her previous life, Lin Wanyu married his younger brother. But life wasn't happy. She heard Gu Zhaoran also had a white moonlight he loved deeply. But no one knew who this white moonlight really was. The other was Pei Xinglan's classmate, named Lin Dong. He was Pei Xinglan's best buddy. After Pei Xinglan entered, he directly sat down next to Fu Jiu. The other two also found their own seats and sat down. At this moment, Shen Dandan suddenly suggested, how about we play a game? Truth or dare, how about that? Bring it on. Who's afraid of who? Pei Xinglan thought to himself. A few little girls are nothing to fear. Shen Dandan brought over an empty liquor bottle and spun it hard on the table. It finally pointed at Pei Xinglan. Shen Dandan looked at him with a mischievous smile. Classmate Pei, truth or dare? Truth. Pei Xinglan replied without hesitation. Then I'll ask, classmate Pei, do you have someone you like? Shen Dandan squinted her eyes, asking with a gossipy expression. Pei Xinglan glanced at Fu Jiu beside him. Of course I do. Shen Dandan pressed further. Young Master Pei, could you tell us who she is? Pei Xinglan shot her a glare. That's already the second question. After saying this, he quickly spun the bottle. It finally pointed to Gu Zhaoran, who was beside Lin Wanyu. Young Master Gu, do you choose truth or dare? Pei Xinglan smiled very recklessly. Gu Zhaoran said lightly, I'll choose truth. Then, young Master Gu, who is the person you like? Pei Xinglan looked at Gu Zhaoran, raising an eyebrow. He knew that Gu Zhaoran had liked a girl since childhood. But Gu Zhaoran never would say who that person was. Pei Xinglan had always been curious. I don't want to say. I'll take the punishment and drink. After saying that, Gu Zhaoran filled his glass with red wine, then tilted his head back and drank it all in one go. He set the glass down, and a rare smile appeared on his face. His long fingers gripped the wine bottle and spun it with force. This time, the bottle stopped in front of Lin Wanyu. A curve lifted the corner of Gu Zhaoran's mouth. Miss Lin, truth or dare? Lin Wanyu looked at him shocked. Gu Zhaoran narrowed his eyes. Miss Lin really has a poor memory for favors. We met at the Lin family's last banquet. Lin Wanyu was dumbfounded, thinking to herself, such a handsome man. My eyes should remember him immediately, so how could I have no impression at all? Maybe I just look too ordinary. So even Miss Lin has no memory of me, Shethot. A look of disappointment flashed across Gu Zhaoran's face. How could you be ordinary like that? Maybe there were too many people. I didn't notice. Lin Wanyu hurriedly explained. Miss Lin, which will you choose? Truth, she said. After thinking for a moment, Lin Wanyu replied, all right. Miss Lin, would you accept an arranged marriage? Marrying someone you don't know or don't love? Gu Zhaoran's smile faded. He looked at her seriously. Lin Wanyu was stunned for a moment. She really hadn't thought about this question before. If I didn't have someone I liked when the arranged marriage happened, I might have accepted the family alliance. But if there was someone I liked, then I would definitely refuse. After saying this, Lin Wanyu reached out and spun the bottle. After a few spins, it pointed directly at Pei Xinglan again. Classmate Pei, it's your turn again. Truth or dare? Lin Wanyu looked at Shen Dandan and raised an eyebrow at her. The question Shen Dandan hadn't finished asking. She was determined to get the answer. Whether the school bully actually liked Fujiu or not. This was the key question they were all focused on. Pei Xinglan narrowed his eyes. Then I choose dare. Lin Wanyu showed a hint of disappointment. This guy clearly didn't want to say who he liked. But how could Lin Wanyu let him off so easily? Then please, young Master Pei, choose someone present here, regardless of gender, and kiss for 2 minutes. If you refuse, punish yourself with 3 glasses of alcohol. A smug smile appeared at the corner of Lin Wanyu's mouth. The corners of Pei Xinglan's mouth almost turned up to the sky. After struggling to suppress his laughter, he turned and pulled Fujiu into his arms and kissed her fiercely. Instantly, the private room erupted. Wow, so explosive. Shen Dandan and Lin Wanyu shouted excitedly. Beside them Li Tianxian, but watched all of this expressionlessly. Gu Zhaoran's lips pressed together slightly, thinking to herself, in daily life, if any girl tried to sneak a kiss from this guy, he would get so angry, he practically wanted to tear them apart. Why is he so unusually lively and different today? Her eyes were wide open. What's going on with the usually women-averse young Master Pei today? The few onlookers were starting to feel a bit embarrassed. Later, it was Fujiu who pushed him away forcefully. Only then did this passionate kiss, lasting over 5 minutes end. Fujiu's whole body trembled slightly, as if her body had been struck by an electric current. That feeling almost made her drown in it. Among them, Pei Xinglan narrowed his captivating peach blossom eyes, reached out and forcefully spun the wine bottle. After a few spins, it stopped in front of Li Tianxian. Speak, classmate Li Tianxian. Truth or dare? Pei Xinglan's voice carried a hint of mockery. Li Tianxian spoke calmly. Then truth it is. Pei Xinglan's lips curved into a slight smile. What is your relationship with Su Jinkin? Why did you encourage Fujiu to be with him? As soon as these words were spoken, Fujiu was visibly startled. She inwardly felt surprised. Pei Xinglan actually knew about Li Tianxian matchmaking her with Su Jinkin. This really asked the question she had always wanted to know. Li Tianxian immediately became somewhat flustered. Because Su Jinkin is my brother. I think Sister Jiu and he are a very good match. That's why they were trying so hard to matchmake. Pei Zinglan gave her a cold look. Don't try to matchmake anymore. Jiu can only be my girlfriend. Fu Jiu was completely shocked. In her previous life, after she married Su Jinkin, she found out he had a younger sister. But she had never met her. Su Jinkin explained that she was abroad. She never expected that person to be Li Tianxian. Then why did she hide all this? Was she involved in the things that harmed me? Fu Jiu, her mind full of questions, looked coldly at Li Tianxian. Li Tianxian lowered her head, silently reached out and spun the bottle. After a few spins, it stopped in front of Fu Jiu. Before Li Tianxian could even speak for truth or dare, Fu Jiu took the lead and answered. Sister Jiu, why did you suddenly stop liking my brother, Su Jinkin? Tianxian. Su Jinkin likes Song Yufei. It's not like you don't know. Why should I rush to be a licking dog simp? And let him string me along? Li Tianxian's face flushed slightly red. She looked somewhat embarrassed. They continued playing the game. After a while, Li Tianxian got up and went to the bathroom. They had enough of dare. Lin Wanyu started urging everyone to play finger-guessing game Mora. Somehow, Lin Wanyu lost every round and kept being forced to drink. The corner of Gu Zhaoran's mouth nearby was curled in a slight smile the whole time. He thought to himself, this ungrateful girl actually had no impression of him at all. It turned out their two families many years ago had been neighbors for a period of time. When they were young, he had even saved Lin Wanyu. He never expected this girl to be so ungrateful, completely failing to recognize him. When Lin Wanyu lost at rock paper scissors yet again, and was just about to drink, Gu Zhaoran suddenly reached out his hand, snatched the glass and drank it all in one go. Pei Zinglan was stunned seeing this. Since when did this guy start taking drinks for girls? He had never seen that before. Hey, handsome, why are you taking my drink? Lin Wanyu looked at Gu Zhaoran with drunken, bleary eyes, her words carrying a hint of intoxication. At this time, Fu Jiu also got up and went to the restroom. On her way back, she saw Li Tianxian at a stairwell corner. She was quietly hiding behind the corner of the wall, peeking her head out and cautiously observing. Under the dim light, she could see Li Tianxian was being scolded by a man. Fu Jiu looked carefully. That man was actually Su Jinkin, and Su Jinkin's yelling faintly reached her. Li Tianxian, the thing I asked you to handle. How are you handling it? Why is Fu Jing suddenly ignoring me? Brother, Fu Jiu said. She knows you don't like her. She doesn't want to be a simp anymore. There must be some hidden reason in this. You need to go figure it out quickly. Why did her attitude suddenly change so much? Is there something wrong with her? You must tell me in time. Li Tianxian seemed a bit flustered. Brother, I'll do my best. Fu Jiu withdrew his gaze. His face instantly darkened. This Li Tianxian really has a problem. Su Jinkin's marriage and relationship with her were actually all prearranged. It was just setting a trap for her to save the nearly bankrupt Su family and to scheme for the Fu family's wealth. And the role Li Tianxian played was that of an accomplice. It's just a pity. In her previous life, she never noticed anything wrong with Li Tianxian. Instead, she felt grateful to her for helping her pursue Su Jinkin. By the time Fu Jiu returned to the private room, Pei Zinglan was standing at the door, looking out with a worried expression. Why were you gone for so long? A look of concern appeared on Pei Zinglan's face. A couple was arguing. Watch the excitement for a while. A smile appeared on Fu Jiu's face, trying to conceal her own complicated and flustered feelings. After returning to the private room, Fu Jiu saw that Lin Wanyu was already drunk. She was hugging Gu Zhaoran, playing a finger-guessing game. Shen Dandan and Lin Dong were also playing happily. Jiu, come quick and play the finger-guessing game. We were just waiting for you. Lin Wanyu said drunkenly. Fu Jiu and Pei Xinglan also joined them. Soon, several of them were a bit drunk. Around 9:30, Pei Xinglan staggered to his feet. His steps were somewhat exaggerated. He pulled Fu Jiu into an embrace, then said to Gu Zhaoran and Lin Dong, "You two take them back. I'll go back with Jiu." After exiting the bar entrance, Pei Xinglan carefully helped Fu Jiu into the car. The two of them sat together in the back seat. During the ride, Fu Jiu vomited all over the car, and also soiled Pei Xinglan's clothes. After about half an hour, they finally arrived at the Cloudtop Grand Hotel. The lobby attendant, upon seeing them enter, immediately straightened up, respectfully said, "Good evening, young master." Pei Xinglan did not respond, just supported Fu Jiu and walked straight towards the elevator. At the same time, he summoned a female attendant. Arriving at the 8th floor, Pei Xinglan's exclusive suite, he ordered, with a look of disdain, "Take this woman's clothes off and wash them. And take her to bathe while you're at it." The female attendant, hearing this, did not dare to delay, quickly took Fu Jiu to the bathroom. Meanwhile, Pei Xinglan took a shower in another bathroom within the suite. Half an hour later, he walked out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. Not long after, the attendant also supported the dazed Fu Jiu and came out. Then the attendant took the dirty clothes and left the room. "School bully, why are you here?" Fu Jiu pouted with an enticing, cherry-like mouth. "What did you just call me?" Pei Xinglan curled his lips. A slight smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. "Called you school bully. Did I say something wrong?" Fu Jiu spoke unclearly, still carrying a hint of drunkenness. During this, she even reached out a finger and gently poked Pei Xinglan's abdominal muscles. Pei Xinglan grabbed her finger. "Have you touched enough?" Fu Jiu squinted her eyes. The corners of her mouth curved into a smiling slit, shook her head like a child. "I haven't touched enough yet." A wicked smile surfaced on Pei Xinglan's face. "Alright, feeling brave now, are you?" After saying that, Pei Xinglan grabbed her hand and placed it on his own abdomen. "Go on, touch as much as you want today." Fu Jiu tilted her head, gave Pei Xinglan a silly smile, and at the same time, gave a thumbs up. Then she mumbled a few words and fell into a deep sleep. Pei Xinglan was so angry he gritted his teeth. This girl starts a fire, but doesn't take responsibility for putting it out. Ended up falling asleep heartlessly, without a care. He shook his head helplessly, then slowly fell asleep next to Fu Jiu. The next morning, Fu Jiu woke up from her sleep. She subconsciously rubbed her aching temples, slowly opened her eyes. When she lifted the blanket, she was shocked to discover she found herself wearing a white nightgown and was completely bare underneath. At this moment, she suddenly noticed a man lying beside her. Taking a closer look, it was none other than Pei Xinglan. Fu Jiu couldn't help but pat her own head, trying to recall what exactly happened last night. But her brain seemed completely wiped clean. Not a single memory remained. Damn, complete blackout. It couldn't be that she actively slept with the school bully, could it? Her heart sank with shock. Then she carefully got out of bed, opened the door, and hurried out with her head down. After just 2 steps, she bumped into someone with a thud. Looking up, both of them were stunned. "Wanyu, what's your situation?" Fu Jiu pulled Lin Wanyu aside and urgently asked, "I think I messed up because of drinking. I slept with that handsome guy Gu Zhaoran." Lin Wanyu's voice grew softer, her face full of embarrassment. "What should we do then? I heard he doesn't seem to have a great temper." Fu Jiu's face was filled with worry. Lin Wanyu leaned close to Fu Jiu's ear. "We just have to run. What else can we do? If he wakes up, do you think I'll get off easy? As for your situation, mine is pretty similar. I think I slept with the school bully. What should I do? I really don't want to be entangled with him for life." At this moment, a faint voice suddenly came from behind. "What are you guys doing here?" The two were startled. They quickly turned their heads. Dandan, why are you here too? The two asked simultaneously. Dandan's face flushed red. I don't know either. I drank too much last night. When I opened my eyes, I was here. Fu Jiu and Lin Wanyu exchanged a glance. Who is on the bed? It's that guy named Lin Dong from yesterday. But just as she finished speaking, Lin Dong appeared behind Shen Dandan. Shen Dandan looked panicked. I'm leaving first, okay? After saying that, she prepared to make a run for it. But as soon as she took a step, Lin Dong reached out and pulled her back. You heartless woman, you want to run after sleeping with me, is that it? This was my first time, you know. Are you going to be so irresponsible? Lin Dong put on a pitiful, wronged expression. Shen Dandan could only force an awkward smile. Classmate Lin, let's talk about this another time. I need to get back to school first. Wishful thinking, he said. And then Lin Dong dragged Shen Dandan back into the room. Shen Dandan even tried to cling to the doorframe and not let go, sending a distress signal to the other two. The two shook their heads helplessly, indicating they were powerless to help. Right at that moment, another male voice sounded. Lin Wan, you stop right there. Lin Wanyu didn't dare to look back, tiptoed and tried to move forward. But Gu Jiaoran quickly rushed over, scooped her up in one motion, then headed straight back. The room door slammed with a bang. The door closing action was done in one fluid motion. Fu Jiu patted her chest, secretly feeling relieved. Luckily, it wasn't the school bully. Sis, better slip away early. Where do you think you're running to? Pei Xinglan's familiar voice sounded. Fu Jiu narrowed her eyes, forcing out an awkward smile. Morning, classmate Pei. It is quite early. But didn't we just come out of the same blanket? Pei Xinglan wore a mischievous grin. It's a misunderstanding. Listen to my explanation. Fu Jiu hurriedly waved her hands. Her heart was in utter chaos. Explain why we were in the same blanket. Or explain why you were trying to run. Pei Xinglan stepped towards her, one step at a time. Fu Jiu subconsciously stepped back. Pei Xinglan braced his arm against the wall, pinning her against the wall with the kabadon. Fu Jiu turned her head away, not daring to look directly into Pei Xinglan's eyes. I wasn't running, and nothing happened between us. I just have a class soon. I'm just in a hurry, that's all. Not running, dressed in this ghostly appearance. Are you sure you can go to class like this? The corners of Pei Xinglan's mouth lifted slightly, but the smile he revealed made Fu Jiu feel creeped out. Then he grabbed Fu Jiu's arm, and without another word, dragged her back into the room. After closing the door, he walked step by step towards Fu Jiu. There was a hint of heartache in the tone. I'd rather go out in a bathrobe and embarrass myself than be willing to stay in the same room with me. Fu Jiu, do you hate me that much? It's all a misunderstanding. I saw you were sleeping soundly, so I didn't want to disturb you. And I couldn't find my clothes after searching for a long time. It was almost time for class, so I had to go out like this. Fu Jiu squinted his eyes, forcing out a smile. That expression was even uglier than crying. Just then, the doorbell rang. The staff brought in the clothes that were washed yesterday. Seeing this, Fu Jiu quickly picked up his clothes and headed straight to the bathroom without looking back. After coming out of the bathroom, Fu Jiu, however, noticed Pei Xinglan putting on his pants, his upper body bare, revealing those well-defined muscles, appeared particularly distinct under the light. Her face instantly turned red, and she quickly turned her head away, not daring to take another look. Now, you know how to be shy? Where was your reserve last night? Who was it that was so happily touching the abs? Fu Jiu let out two awkward dry laughs. Impossible, right? There's absolutely no way I could do something like that. Pei Xinglan fastened his belt and slowly turned around. He pointed to the red marks on his upper body, deliberately raising his voice. Fu Jiu, don't close your eyes. Quickly take a good look at your masterpiece. Fu Jiu was so embarrassed he wanted to crawl into a hole. Did I really do this? Her heart was filled with doubt. She simply couldn't believe this was real. Pei Xinglan, however, unhurriedly took the phone, opened the photo album, and played the video recorded last night, then held it right before Fu Jiu's eyes. Her face instantly turned redder than an apple. Having lived 2 lifetimes, she had never done anything so embarrassing. Nothing to say now? Pei Xinglan laughed quite arrogantly. There are also photos. Do you want to see them too? No, that's alright. If there's nothing else, I'll be going now. After saying that, Fu Jiu lifted her foot, ready to make a run for it. But Pei Xinglan pulled her back. Fu Jiu, have some martial virtue, will you? Trying to slip away after taking advantage? There's no such good thing in this world. You have to give me an explanation. Fu Jiu felt a wave of helplessness inside. Then what do you want? A flicker of cunning passed through Pei Xinglan's eyes. Fu Jiu, let me tell you. This was my first time. You have to take responsibility. Either become my girlfriend and get married after graduation, or compensate me with 1 billion. Hearing this, Fu Jiu felt it was over. It seems the school bully's reputation didn't come for nothing. This person's shamelessness was simply maddening. Wasn't it just a matter of mutual attraction between a man and a woman? As for having to talk about marriage, Fu Jiu was extremely frustrated. Can we change the request? Look, you don't like me. And I don't like you either. Even if we got married, we'd just be a mismatched pair. Why must we be tied together for a lifetime? She forced down her frustration and patiently explained to the other party. After hearing this, Pei Xinglan not only didn't calm down, but got even angrier. Fine, my first night is worth 10 billion. Hurry up and pay. Are you trying to blackmail me? It was a consensual matter. Why must I compensate you? Fu Jiu was so angry, she deflated like a balloon, feeling both furious and helpless at Pei Xinglan's rogue behavior. Pei Xinglan slowly moved closer to her. You were the one who took the initiative by force. So either you take responsibility, or you pay up. I'll take responsibility for you. Is that enough? After saying this, Fu Jiu turned around and prepared to leave. Sign the contract. Pei Xinglan handed over a thick stack of contracts. Fu Jiu took it suspiciously and glanced through it. The more she read, the more outrageous she found it. She was practically fuming with anger and amusement. Are you sick? Pei Xinglan, you already prepared the contract and made it so thick that it's impossible to understand. If I sign it, you're not going to sell me off, are you? This is a formal contract prepared by my family company's legal team. I won't sell you off. It's to prevent you from going back on your word, so you can sign with peace of mind. Pei Xinglan smiled smugly. Everything was under his control. Fu Jiu picked up the pen. With 2 quick strokes, she signed her name. Afterwards, she walked straight out of the hotel and took a taxi directly back to school. When Fu Jiu returned to the dormitory, only Li Tianxian was there. Lin Wanyu and Shen Dandan were still nowhere to be seen. As soon as she entered, Li Tianxian immediately stood up, asking Jing with a concerned expression, "What did you all do last night? How come you didn't come back all night?" Fu Jiu placed her bag on the table. Tianxian, how come you left last night and never came back? We waited for you for a long time. I had a sudden urgent matter and came back first. Li Tianxian hurriedly explained. We were all so into having fun, we didn't notice the time and ended up missing the curfew, so we had to find a hotel nearby to stay. Jiu, what exactly is going on between you and the school bully? Li Tianxian couldn't contain her curiosity. Fu Jiu's lips curved slightly. I agreed to be his girlfriend. Upon hearing this, Li Tianxian immediately became somewhat anxious. Are you really not going to consider my brother anymore? He actually likes you in his heart. Yesterday, he specifically asked me to find out how you feel. What's left to ask? I don't like him anymore. Li Tianxian persisted relentlessly, continuing to persuade Jiu. That school bully has such terrible conduct. How could he be worthy of you? Fu Jiu looked seriously at Li Tianxian. When it comes to matters of the heart, there's no such thing as being worthy or unworthy. There's only love or no love. Tianxian, if you really consider me a friend, then please respect my choice. As for me, this is also for your own good. I'm just afraid you'll be deceived by that school bully. Li Tianxian's face was full of a worried expression. Fu Jiu smiled helplessly. She really didn't want to say more to her. She clearly understood in her heart. Li Tianxian was simply still trying to act as Su Jinkin's lobbyist, helping Su Jinkin deceive her. Someone like Li Tianxian simply wasn't worth associating with. Fu Jiu paid no more attention to her, picked up her books, turned and walked out of the dormitory. After arriving at the classroom, she found an empty seat and slowly sat down, took out her notebook and prepared to start listening to the lecture. At that moment, Su Jinkin walked in from outside. His gaze swept around the classroom. Then he walked directly over and sat down beside Fu Jiu. Fu Jiu only felt the blood throughout her body instantly boil. Her heart also began to beat wildly out of control. The enemy who, in her previous life, caused her family to be ruined and die, was right beside her. But she could do nothing. This feeling tormented her immensely. Fu Jiu, what's wrong with you? Su Jinkin suddenly moved close to her and asked softly. Fu Jiu tried hard to control his emotions. It's nothing. Maybe I have a bit of a cold. Why do I feel like you seem to be afraid of me? Su Jinkin raised his eyebrows slightly. A light smile hung at the corner of his mouth. Fu Jiu gave him a glare. Why would I be afraid of you? Su Jinkin reached out to touch her forehead. Fu Jiu dodged backward with disgust. What are you doing? Can't you focus on the lecture? Su Jinkin withdrew his hand resentfully. His eyes instantly darkened. The reason he forced himself to endure the disgust in his heart and took the initiative to strike up a conversation with Fu Jiu was truly due to the pressure of the circumstances. The Su family is currently facing a severe crisis. Failed investments have left the company with massive debts. If they can't find an investor in the short term, they will likely face the dire situation of bankruptcy. Meanwhile, the Fu family's business is flourishing. Su Jinkin calculated in his heart. If Fu Jiu could be with him, given how desperately she used to love him, she would definitely beg her father to invest in the Su family. Although the person he truly loves is Song Yufei, he is clearly aware that Song Yufei's father is actually just an assistant to the Pei family. Although Song Yufei usually dresses herself up as a wealthy young lady, with luxury cars picking her up to and from school, and wearing all brand name clothes and accessories, in reality, those cars belong to the Pei family. He wants both Song Yufei's affection. He also coveted the financial resources behind Fu Jiu. Fu Jiu could sense Su Jinkin's gaze lingering on her. She couldn't help but feel increasingly disgusted. If it were in the past, if Su Jinkin were to rest his cheek in his hand and look at her with deep affection, Fu Jiu would have been so happy she couldn't close her mouth. But now, she had long seen through Su Jinkin's true intentions. She only felt that he was extremely hypocritical. As soon as the class-ending bell rang, Fu Jiu immediately packed her books, stood up, and left. Su Jinkin hurriedly chased after her. Jiu, wait for me. Fu Jiu sighed helplessly. She thought to herself, why is this person sticking to me like a plaster? Can't shake him off. She unconsciously quickened her pace. Su Jinkin took long strides, ran a couple of steps quickly, and reached out his long arm to grab Fu Jiu, blocking her in the corner of the teaching building. Fu Jiu was somewhat impatient. Su Jinkin, what do you want? Fu Jiu, what's wrong with you? Is it because I went to the bar with Yufei yesterday? Are you jealous? Su Jinkin asked, with an unhappy expression. He thought to himself, this woman really doesn't know when to quit. He was being so proactive. And she was still acting all aloof here. If it weren't for the Su family, he wouldn't even bother looking at Fujiu. Su Jinkin, you're the one who's acting crazy. I already have a boyfriend, let's not contact each other anymore. Fujiu's expression was stern. Su Jinkin immediately flared up, the veins on his forehead bulging. Fujiu, do you have any idea what you're saying? You pursued me for 2 years, and now you're actually telling me you have a boyfriend. Are you playing with me? Fujiu was so angry he was speechless. Who said I have to chase after you forever? I'm tired now, I don't want to chase anymore. Is that not allowed? At this moment, several of Su Jinkin's good buddies happened to walk over. Brother Jinkin, what are you doing? Is that simp school bell bothering you again? Su Rua shouted loudly. Brother Jinkin, you better stop paying attention to her. If Yu Fei sees, she'll get angry again. Zhao Duo chimed in as well. Su Jinkin felt somewhat awkward. Don't talk nonsense, I needed to discuss something with her. You guys go back to the dorm first. I'll be back soon. Brother Jinkin, you must not soften your heart. This kind of woman is totally not worthy of you. Shen Yanhan also laughed and said. In their hearts, Su Jinkin and Song Yufei were the perfect match made in heaven. Just go already. Su Jinkin impatiently started shooing them away. After the few left, Fujiu sneered coldly. Su Jinkin, just look at your friends. They all know that you and Song Yufei are a pair. And their attitude towards me also shows the position I hold in your heart. Isn't it Su Jinkin who forcefully suppressed the displeasure in his heart? As for you, don't pay attention to what they say. Those few of them just have foul mouths. I used to think that we are still students now. The timing isn't right yet. That's why I never agreed to be with you. Fujiu looked towards Song Yufei, who had just walked over, and continued speaking. The whole school knows you like Song Yufei. Now, you're telling me you like me. Do you think I would believe it? Jiu, how could that be? The person I've always liked is you. I only see her as a younger sister. You are the one I love the most in my heart. Su Jinkin spoke with conviction. That deeply affectionate appearance would likely move anyone who didn't know the truth. Song Yufei, who was behind them, heard Su Jinkin's words. As if struck by lightning, Su Jinkin had pursued her for 2 years. He had said all kinds of solemn vows and promises. She naturally had feelings for Su Jinkin too. The reason she hadn't agreed to be with him before was just that she felt her family background wasn't good enough for him. She was afraid he would look down on her. So she always treated him hot and cold, just wanting to firmly secure Su Jinkin's affection. Last week, her father finally gave her an ultimatum. If she couldn't find a wealthy boyfriend, he would cut off her financial support over these 2 years in order to pose as a rich young lady, buying brand name clothes and bags. She had almost spent all of her family's savings. She had originally planned to agree to Su Jinkin's pursuit this week, but she never expected to hear such an explosive conversation today. A trace of a mocking smile appeared at the corner of Fujiu's mouth. Su Jinkin, who would believe what you're saying? Su Jinkin became somewhat anxious. Jiu, if you don't like her, I promise I'll ignore her from now on. Please, you must believe me. Fujiu raised an eyebrow at Song Yufei. Su Jinkin, I still don't believe it. Song Yufei is prettier than me, has a better figure, and is a top student in the design school. Why would you like me and not her? Su Jinkin got a bit excited. He thought Fujiu was just jealous. So he quickly said, Jiu, how could Song Yufei compare to you? She's not as pretty as you at all. Her figure isn't as good as yours either. My Jiu is beautiful. Every single part of you is beautiful. Girls like Song Yufei are a dime a dozen. Ordinary looking. Not from a good family background either. And especially pretentious. I am, after all, the campus heartthrob of Lin University, okay? Only a campus belle like you is worthy of me. The corner of Fujiu's mouth lifted slightly. She tried hard to hold back from laughing out loud. but the song Yufei behind her could no longer hold back. Su Jinkin. So this is what I am in your heart? I hate you. Hearing the voice, Su Jinkin immediately turned around and saw Song Yufei's expression. Suddenly understood everything. No wonder Fujin was laughing so happily just now. So he deliberately lured him into saying those words. Yufei, let me explain. That's not what I meant. I'm not pretty. My family background isn't good. My figure isn't great either. I really don't deserve someone as popular as you, the school heartthrob. Song, Yufei said while crying, and ran away. Just now, the few female classmates who came with Song Yufei were dumbfounded, completely didn't expect to witness such a shocking scene. They whispered among themselves, wasn't the school heartthrob always pursuing Yufei? Besides, doesn't Yufei's family own a large company? Why did the school heartthrob say her family background isn't good? Could her rich young lady persona be fake? Su Jinkin became somewhat anxious, chased after Song Yufei's direction. Fu Jiu leaned against the wall alone, laughing so hard he couldn't straighten up. This feeling of making an enemy hopping mad is just too satisfying. Suddenly a deep voice came through. You made someone else run away in anger. Are you that happy? Fu Jiu was startled. Pei Xinglan, why are you here? The girl, to punish the scumbag, deliberately lured him into slandering his own white moonlight. As a result, the white moonlight heard everything clearly from behind, completely lost it. Su Jinkin. So this is what I am in your heart. I hate you, Song Yufei said while crying, and ran away. Su Jinkin panicked. He hurriedly chased in the direction Song Yufei went. Fu Jiu leaned against the wall, laughing so hard she couldn't straighten her waist. This feeling of making an enemy stomp with rage was just so incredibly satisfying. Suddenly, Pei Xinglan's deep voice came through. You made someone else run off in anger. Are you really that happy? Fu Jiu was startled. Pei Xinglan, why are you here? I just finished class. I happen to be passing by. Since when does young Master Pei have the bad habit of eavesdropping on people? Fu Jiu felt somewhat displeased inside. Pei Xinglan suddenly spoke. If Su Jinkin hadn't gone after Song Yufei, were you still planning to agree to him? Who wants to be his licking dog sycophant or obsessive follower? I would never agree to him. Fu Jiu rolled her eyes, her tone full of disdain. Pei Xinglan pulled her shoulder into an embrace. As expected of my girlfriend, never taking any losses. Am I sick? To have countless delicious foods available and not eat them, and insist on taking a loss? From now on, I'm letting myself go. Whoever bullies me, I'll knock them flying. Fu Jiu laughed with unbridled boldness and abandon. Then let's go, girlfriend. We'll go eat those countless delicious foods. Pei Xinglan took her hand and headed straight for the cafeteria. Arriving at the cafeteria, Pei Xinglan bought a bunch of delicious food and handed it to Fu Jiu. This feeling made Fu Jiu a little dazed. When she was with Su Jinkin in her previous life, she never experienced the feeling of being in love. It was all her own one-sided effort. Now, watching Pei Xinglan buy things for her, running around busily, Fu Jiu suddenly thought, if she were to have a relationship like this, it wouldn't be so bad. What are you thinking about? Hurry up and eat. The food will taste bad if it gets cold. Pei Xinglan gently tapped her head. Fu Jiu's face turned red. She quickly lowered her head to eat. Stay away from Su Jinkin from now on. He's not a good person, Pei Xinglan said, with a serious expression. Fu Jiu nodded. I know. I won't have any relationship with him anymore. That's good, remember this. From now on, you're not allowed to get too close to other boys. You have a boyfriend now. You must adhere to female virtue. Hearing this, Fu Jiu didn't hold back and retorted to classmate Pei. The Qing dynasty fell long ago. Well, if you put it that way, you also have to adhere to male virtue. You're not allowed to get close to other girls. Pei Xinglan's lips curved into a smile. Fine anyway, having you as my girlfriend is enough. Then he continued to ask, I'm a bit confused about something. You're so quick-witted and sharp-tongued. How could you let Su Jinkin and his so-called friends bully you so often? You don't seem like someone who will put up with this kind of humiliation. Fu Jiu was slightly taken aback after hearing this. She had asked herself this question countless times. It's always the one who loves more desperately who gets hurt. The one who is loved acts recklessly, without fear. Pei Xinglan suddenly became serious. Fu Jiu, from now on, no matter what happens, you must come to me. I will handle it. If Su Jinkin bothers you again, you must tell me. Fu Jiu looked up at him, feeling a bit dazed. For a moment, she actually forgot to respond. What are you looking at? Are you so captivated by your boyfriend's good looks that you can't free yourself? A mischievous smile appeared on Pei Xinglan's face. Upon hearing this, Fu Jiu blushed instantly, lowered her head, not daring to look him in the eye. I won't tease you anymore. Today is Friday. Are you going home after class this afternoon? Do you want me to give you a ride? Fu Jiu nodded. She was also a bit eager to go home and see. Alright then, I'll wait for you downstairs at your dorm at 4:30. After leaving the cafeteria, Fu Jiu returned to the dorm. Jiu, why did you only come back now? Hurry up and tell us where you went. Lin Wanyu asked with a smile. What else could I be doing? I just went to eat. With who? Could it be the school bully? Lin Wanyu had a hint of a smile at the corner of her mouth. You're so nosy. Have you considered becoming a journalist? Fu Jiu lightly tapped his head. Suddenly, Shen Dandan, who was scrolling through her phone, shouted loudly. Jiu, why are you on the campus forum? The campus belle Lin is dating the school bully. Fu Jiu looked helpless. These people really have too much free time. It's just a meal. And they even resorted to sneaking photos. Jiu, so you went on a date with young Master Pei. Lin Wanyu's mouth curved into a mischievous smile. Fu Jiu openly admitted that she agreed to be his girlfriend. It's normal to have a meal together. Jiu, are you officially dating the school bully? Then won't my brother be very heartbroken? Li Tianxian suddenly spoke up. Fu Jiu curled the corner of her lips. Tianxian, why don't you introduce someone else to your brother? After all, there are still many people who like him. Li Tianxian's expression turned a bit unpleasant. But, Jiu, my brother only likes you. Fu Jiu didn't respond to her remark. Instead, he looked directly at Shen Dandan and Lin Wanyu. Hurry up and tell me, have you two also gotten boyfriends? A blush crept onto Wanyu's face. Wanyu, your face is all red. And you still say no. Hurry up and tell me, is it Gu Jiaoran? We're planning to give it a try first. If we don't get along, we'll break up. Fu Jiu wore a triumphant expression. I knew you definitely had something going on. Ha ha ha. Afterwards, the two of them looked at Shen Dandan together. Hurry up and tell us, what's your situation? Shen Dandan suddenly blushed. I'm dating Lin Dong. But I think he's really nice. Although his reputation isn't great from hanging out with the school bully. But actually, he's really good. See, I knew you two definitely had something going on. Gossiping about me every day. This time, no one is allowed to talk about anyone else. Fu Jiu was smug. Soon, it was time for class. The group came to the classroom together. Lin Wanyu and Li Tianxian went straight to the back row, found an inconspicuous spot, and sat down. Shen Dandan, however, pulled Fu Jiu and jogged, sitting down in the second row. After a while, a few more people came to sit nearby. Coincidentally, it was Song Yufei from the neighboring design class. As soon as she sat down, she saw Fu Jiu next to her. She obviously froze for a moment. Shen Dandan gently tugged on Fu Jiu's skirt hem. He muttered in a low voice, "What bad luck. Why am I still next to her?" Fu Jiu shook his head slightly at her. "It's fine, we don't need to pay attention to her." At this moment, Song Yufei beside them was also filled with jealousy. Originally, Su Jinkin had pursued her. for 2 years, and she had planned to accept Sujinkan today. But then she heard Sujinkan confessing those words to Fujiu, and even belittling her as completely worthless. She was almost driven mad with anger. Although Sujinkan later found her and told her he had no choice, Song Yufei was still half convinced and half doubtful. She really couldn't tell which of Sujinkan's words were true. Her father had been pressuring her lately. If she couldn't find a rich, second-generation boyfriend soon, her father would marry her off to a man in his 40s. So Song Yufei was pressed for time. Now, it wasn't impossible to find a rich second generation. Now, but Sujinkan was clearly more to her liking, and someone she liked. Her mind was in turmoil. Now, she didn't know whether to accept Sujinkan or find someone else. She was absent-minded throughout the entire class, till the professor lecturing on stage suddenly called her name. Song Yufei, based on your judgment, tell everyone about the condition of these 2 raw stones. Song Yufei stood up and walked to the podium. She hadn't listened to a word of the professor's lecture just now. At this moment, they could only stand there woodenly, staring blankly at the 2 raw stones. Song Yufei, quickly tell us. The professor's eyes were full of anticipation for her. The classmates below the stage were also staring intently at Song Yufei, waiting for her to provide a brilliant analysis. This one should be a jadeite raw stone. Judging by the veins, the content inside should be extremely high. It's a top-grade, excellent piece of material, while the other one, at a glance, doesn't have good texture. It probably has little value. Song Yufei struggled to regain her confidence, raised her voice, and said. The classmates below the stage immediately broke into enthusiastic applause. Fu Jiu slightly shook her head. Shen Dandan whispered, Jiu, do you think what she said is wrong? Fu Jiu revealed a confident smile. Completely wrong. As for whether you might be mistaken, Shen Dandan looked incredulous. Just wait and see. Fu Jiu, with a well-thought-out plan, said confidently. Song Yufei, under everyone's gaze, walked back to her seat with light steps. She slightly raised her head, as if flaunting her excellence to Fujiu. Yufei, you're really amazing. Tian Liu and Sukiya Yue beside her couldn't help but praise. Students. It seems everyone agrees with Student Song's opinion, right? Then let's cut them open and see. Professor Li said with a smile. Fujiu suddenly stood up. I don't agree. What I say is the complete opposite of hers. I think the other piece is truly the real deal. She pointed to the raw stone. That Song Yufei didn't think highly of. The students below the stage immediately started discussing. How is this possible? Does she even know what she's talking about? Fu Jiu, what level are you at to dare say such things? Have you no shame? Tian Liu mocked. Don't you have any idea what your level is? You're really putting on an act, Sukiya Yeer chimed in. What the hell do you know? Shen Dandan couldn't help but retort at the two. Professor Li on the podium picked up the raw stone, placed it on the cutting saw, and made a cut. Everyone's eyes were fixed tightly on that stone. Song Yufei's heart was in her throat, silently praying in her heart. It has to be right. Otherwise, losing to Fujiu, where would she put her face? Don't worry, Yufei, you can't be wrong. The one who'll lose face can only be that vase, meaning pretty but useless person. Tian Liu comforted from the side. As the raw stone was cut open, Professor Li picked up the stone and held it high. How is this possible? This piece actually really is a waste stone. The room below immediately erupted. The students started discussing one after another. Song Yufei looked again carefully, unable to believe her eyes. Yufei, how could this be? It actually turned out just as that said. Tian Liu also found it hard to believe. After all, Song Yufei is widely recognized as a top student in the design school. Professor Li also values her highly. Today, he actually misjudged, and even lost to this pretty but academically weak school belle. It's okay, Yufei, there's still one more piece. Fu Jiu. No? Tian Liu whispered comfortingly, "It's possible to get them all right." Song Yufei nodded dejectedly. It must be because she wasn't in good form today. Otherwise, how could she lose to Fu Jiu? Professor Li then began cutting the second piece. For some reason, Song Yufei grew increasingly nervous. If she really guessed wrong again, would everyone laugh at her? After all, she had built up a top student persona for 2 years. She had put in more effort than most people. But in truth, only she herself knew that she didn't really have any design talent. Every time she designed jewelry, she would reference original videos from a blogger, make slight modifications, and present it as her own work. As the machine made a harsh noise, the second raw stone was also cut open. Professor Li didn't open it immediately, but instead asked Song Yufei and Fu Jiu again. "I still think it's waste material," Song Yufei said firmly. "It's high-quality jade." Fu Jiu's tone was very certain. In her past life, although she really liked the design major, Su Jinkin said, "What's the use of a girl studying that? I don't like it." To cater to him, the top student Su Jinkin often skipped classes. Homework isn't even submitted. Those pieces of jewelry made secretly behind the scenes can only be posted secretly on social media platforms. In this lifetime, she will never listen to Su Jinkin again. She wants to shine and radiate passion in the things she loves. Now, we will reveal the answer. With that, Professor Li raised the stone in his hand. "This is just too beautiful. The color is imperial green." There were gasps of surprise from the audience. The classmates were all amazed by this imperial green jadeite. Song Yufei's face instantly turned pale. She was actually wrong again. The unfortunate thing is, Fu Jiu actually guessed everything correctly. So the school belle is actually the true top student. She actually guessed everything right. I admire her so much. Several girls looked towards Fu Jiu. Their eyes filled with admiration. Song Yufei's persona as a guess master has collapsed. She actually got both guesses wrong, and still dares to call herself a top student. Sarcastic remarks rose one after another from the audience. Song Yufei was extremely embarrassed. It felt as if all the humiliation of her life was experienced today. Tears welled up in the corners of her eyes. She was enduring it intensely inside, not wanting others to see her distress. It was Professor Li who spoke up to smooth things over. "It's quite normal to guess this wrong. Even for me. The chance of guessing correctly is only 60%. The professor gave Song Yufei a comforting look. Song Yufei nodded slightly, stood up. "Professor, I will continue to work hard." Students began to applaud one after another, thinking that Song Yufei had just misjudged. Hearing this, Song Yufei felt a little better inside. Fortunately, she had restrained the impulse to run out earlier, and proactively stood up. Otherwise, her persona would have completely collapsed today. The more Song Yufei thought about it, the angrier she became. Secretly swearing in her heart, she must find a way to dampen Fu Jiu's arrogance. The green tea originally wanted to show off in class, but ended up being publicly humiliated by the girl, and almost had her top student persona exposed. This made Green Tea Song Yufei extremely angry, secretly swearing in her heart. She must find a way to dampen Fu Jiu's arrogance. After class, Fu Jiu and a few others left the classroom together. But not long after leaving the teaching building, they saw Song Yufei standing ahead again. She smiled gently at Fu Jiu. Fu Jiu suddenly felt a wave of disgust. She was so angry in class, she almost went crazy. Yet now she could smile so gently. This woman's green tea skills are truly max level. She walked up to Song Yufei, then coldly said, "You're blocking the way." Song Yufei suppressed the anger in her heart. "Fu Jiu, I want to talk to you alone." Fu Jiu looked at her coldly. "Speak, what is it?" But Song Yufei did not speak. Instead, she turned to look at Lin Wanyu and the others beside her. Fu Jiu understood what she meant, then let the other three go back first. After the few of them had walked far away, Song Yufei then slowly spoke to Fu Jiu. What do you mean? My boyfriend wants to compete with me for the top student title. And you also want to compete. What exactly do you want to do? As she spoke, Song Yufei also began to cry softly, as if she had been bullied by Fujiu. Fujiu, seeing this, was utterly speechless. Song Yufei, are you sick? I just answered questions normally in class. What did I take from you? Did you set your personal persona too high? After hearing this, Song Yufei cried even more sadly. How can you say that about me? I didn't do anything wrong. I just like Jinkin Oni-chan, brother Jinkin, that's all. Do you need to suppress me like this? Fujiu was somewhat impatient. Don't cry and whine in front of me. If you like Sujinkin, go tell him. I'm not stopping you. Fujiu, I beg you, please stop hitting me, okay? I won't dare to do it again in the future. Song Yufei suddenly, fiercely slapped herself twice across the face, then covered her face and cried bitterly. Fujiu, what are you doing? Why did you hit Yufei? Su Jinkin's angry roar came from behind. Fujiu suddenly understood everything, so she wanted to frame me. This Song Yufei had timed it for when Su Jinkin arrived. To do this, just to put on an act in front of Su Jinkin. She was somewhat speechless. She said to Su Jinkin, which eye of yours saw me hit her? Yufei's face is all swollen. Could it possibly be that she hit herself? Su Jinkin shouted at Fujiu. In his heart, Fujiu was inherently bad. Seeing Yufei weak and delicate, she actually dared to lay hands on her. Su Jinkin pushed Fujiu away with one shove, quickly reached out to support Song Yufei, his eyes full of concern for Yufei. Are you okay? Fujiu staggered from his push. Her anger instantly flared up. This despicable couple actually putting on an act in front of her. Then she would play along to the end. Let's see whose acting skills are better. She went down to the ground in one motion, cried out with a sob. It really wasn't me. It hurts so much. Su Jinkin was stunned, realized he had pushed Fujiu too hard just now. Couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt in his heart. Are you okay? My foot hurts so much. It seems like it's sprained. Fujiu wiped her tears while sobbing. Su Jinkin immediately regained some rationality. He let go of Song Yufei, hurried over to help Fujiu up. I'll take you to the infirmary. Although in his heart he deeply cared for Song Yufei, but currently, Fujiu was more important to the Su family. The survival of the Su family entirely depended on the other party. Jinkin Oni-chan, aren't you going to care about Yufei anymore? She was crying, gasping for breath. That pear blossoms bathed in rain appearance. Anyone who saw it would feel pity in their hearts. Su Jinkin felt a pang of heartache. But then, he glanced at Fujiu again. He suddenly became conflicted. Jiu, can you stand up? Su Jinkin cautiously inquired. Fujiu nodded pitifully. It's okay, I can stand up by myself. Then she put on a very pitiful expression again. Just now, Song Yufei said, the person you truly like is her. And also said, the person you will marry can only be her. But Su Jinkin, didn't you say she isn't pretty enough? And her family background isn't good either? Su Jinkin's face instantly turned panicked. He never expected that Song Yufei would actually say such things. This could very likely ruin his important plans, but he didn't know how to explain it clearly to her. If Fujiu really misunderstood because of this, then the Su family's support would be gone. What should he do about this? On one side is Song Yufei, whom he genuinely likes. On the other side is Fujiu, who can save the Su family. He was caught in a dilemma at this moment. Brother Jinkin, you're still choosing Fujiu. That it? Song Yufei looked at him with tearful, blurry eyes. Su Jinkin gave an ambiguous explanation. Yufei, don't overthink it. Jiu and I are just friends for now. Fujiu, watching the two of them in their conflicted state, decided to add more fuel to the fire. Su Jinkin, since you two are in love with each other, then I won't disturb you. Wish you a happy union. lasting 100 years. After saying this, Fujiu turned around and pretended to prepare to leave. Su Jinkin's face changed. He hurriedly grabbed her arm. Jiu, the only person I want to marry is you. Song Yufei's tears kept falling uncontrollably. Brother Jinkin, are you really going to treat me like this? Yufei, I have no choice in this matter. I'll explain it to you slowly later. Song Yufei couldn't help but roar angrily. Brother Jinkin, if you don't marry me, my dad will marry me off to a 40-year-old man. Su Jinkin's face instantly turned deathly pale. Why would dad do that? My father's business has run into problems. That man can invest in it. But the condition is that I marry him. Brother Jinkin. Only you can help me. Song Yufei pleaded in a low voice. Fu Jiu stood to the side, watching these two put on their tragic drama with great interest. She wanted to see exactly how Su Jinkin would choose between his career and his love. Brother Jinkin, if my father really marries me off to that old man, I definitely won't cling to life in this world. My purity can only be reserved for you alone. How truly touching. Fu Jiu couldn't help but say it out loud, her tone full of sarcasm. Su Jinkin ignored her and continued to comfort Song Yufei non-stop. Yufei, don't be afraid. I won't let you marry that old man. He unconsciously tightened his arms around Song Yufei. After thinking for a long while, he ultimately chose to let go of Song Yufei. But when he turned his head, he found Fujiu standing with arms crossed, watching him as if watching a show. Su Jinkin immediately felt a panic in his heart. I saw Yufei was too sad. I was just comforting her. Please don't take it the wrong way. Fu Jiu's face was full of mockery. How could that be? You two were already like-minded and well-suited in the first place. Jiu, look, is this okay? Let's establish a romantic relationship first. If you want a wedding, I can also give you a wedding. But I can't not save Yufei. Yufei and I will get the marriage certificate first. After we help her get through dealing with her father, we'll get a divorce. Then you and I will get our marriage certificate. What do you think? Is this feasible? Su Jinkin racked his brains for a long time. Before he could come up with this method he considered feasible. Song Yufei immediately stopped her tears upon hearing this. It seems in Brother Jinkin's heart, she is still the more important one. Fu Jiu couldn't help but let out a snort of laughter. So this is the perfect solution you came up with? Jiu, for now, this is the only way. If you want a grand wedding, I will give it to you. Whether it's now or after graduation. Su Jinkin said with conviction. Fu Jiu laughed. Su Jinkin, are you still dreaming and not awake yet? You being a player is one thing. But you actually want to marry 2 wives? That's simply the biggest joke ever. Jiu, listen to my explanation. I'm just temporarily helping Yufei out. It's not a real marriage. Su Jinkin, I don't have time to play this 2-person game with you. Let me tell you again. You and I are impossible. I don't like players. Fu Jiu said, with a serious expression. Su Jinkin became somewhat anxious. Jiu, I really am not a player. You have to believe me. I don't want to be entangled with the 2 of you anymore. Is it fun to mess with me? And you, Song Yufei, hitting yourself. Don't perform this kind of act next time. After speaking, Fujiu opened her phone and played a video. Su Jinkin curiously looked over. He saw Song Yufei in the video, violently slapping her own face twice. Then she started crying and complaining that Fujiu had hit her. He looked at Song Yufei in disbelief. Yufei, why did you hit yourself? After being exposed, Song Yufei immediately became furious from shame. Fujiu, you actually recorded it? Are you crazy? Yes, I am crazy. Fujiu looked at her with a mocking expression. Yufei, why did you frame Jiu? Su Jinkin still couldn't quite believe it. The perfect goddess in his heart would actually do something that only a green tea bitch would do. Jinkin Oni-chan, it's only because you want to be with her that I feel unbalanced. I don't want to separate from you. Song Yufei started tearing up again. Su Jinkin was somewhat puzzled. Didn't Song Yufei always refuse him before? Why is she still competing with Fujiu now? Enough, since the two of you are in love with each other. Just lock it in. Stop coming out to harm people. Fujiu threw down these words, turned and left. Su Jinkin hurriedly chased after her. Jiu, don't misunderstand, okay? The person I really like in my heart is you. Fujiu quickened her pace, completely unwilling to pay him any mind. She complained inwardly. Why is this man like a sticky plaster? Where does he get such strong confidence? Jiu, wait for me. Can we talk properly? Su Jinkin spoke in a pleading tone. Su Jinkin, it's already impossible between us. Fujiu said coldly. In his anxiety, Su Jinkin grabbed Fujiu, pulling her towards the corner. Fujiu, do you know what you're saying? Su Jinkin, somewhat out of control and powerless, roared. What's wrong with me rejecting you? Do I have to like you? Who says I must agree to be with you? Fujiu's face flushed red with anger. But Su Jinkin continued to press on relentlessly. I really can't lose you. Over these past 2 years, I've gotten used to having you by my side. Without even realizing it, I had already fallen in love with you. It's just that I never realized it myself. Upon hearing this, Fujiu only found it laughable. If not for experiencing the tragic suffering of her previous life, she would probably have fallen into Su Jinkin's web of affection once again. She couldn't help but scold Su Jinkin. Stop pestering me. Matters of the heart cannot be forced. Nowadays, everyone emphasizes the freedom to love. There's no point in you acting like this. Do you really not accept me anymore? Su Jinkin wore a heartbroken expression. I will not accept you anymore. I don't love you anymore. Fujiu's words were resolute and clear. Don't you regret it? After saying this, Su Jinkin turned and quickly walked away, his entire body exuding an air of finality.